You know that quiet person in the room, the one who does not speak much. They sit there, listening, watching, maybe smiling a little, and after a while, you start wondering, are they judging me? Do they think I am boring? Did I say something wrong? Do they dislike me? Their silence feels like a mirror, and sometimes when someone does not give you a clear reaction, your mind starts creating one for them. But the quietest person in the room is usually not thinking what you think they are thinking. They are not always judging you. They are not always bored. They are not always trying to seem mysterious. Many times they are simply noticing your tone, noticing how you treat people, noticing how your face changes when someone else gets attention, noticing if your words match your actions. And because they speak less, they often see more. The human brain does not like empty space. When someone is silent, your brain wants to fill that silence with meaning. This is why silence can feel uncomfortable. Your brain is built to predict what other people think and feel. It wants to know, am I safe here? Am I liked? Am I accepted? So when someone does not react clearly, your brain starts guessing. And if you already feel insecure, those guesses often become negative. You may think, they must think I'm weird, but that may not be true. That is your brain trying to protect you from rejection before it happens. This is called prediction. Your brain uses small clues to guess what will happen next. A look, a pause, a quiet face, a short answer, and then your mind builds a story around it. But the quiet person is also doing their own kind of prediction. They are watching patterns. They are not only hearing what you say, they are noticing how you say it. They may notice if you listen only when important people speak. They may notice if you become rude when you feel ignored. They may notice if you laugh at others to feel stronger. They may notice if you are kind when nobody is praising you. To them, your small moments may say more than your big words. This is not magic. This is attention. Attention is like mental energy. When someone talks a lot, part of their brain is busy planning what to say next. But when someone is quiet, more of that energy can go into observing. They may see things others miss. Not because they are better than everyone else, but because they are spending less energy performing. They are using more energy reading the room. And often the quietest person is asking one deep question inside. Is this person safe? Not safe like danger, safe emotionally. Can I relax around this person? Can I speak honestly? Will they use my words against me? Will they laugh if I open up? Will they listen or only wait for their turn to speak? That is why quiet people may take longer to trust. They do not always trust fast words. They trust repeated behavior because the nervous system does not relax just because someone says, "You can trust me." It relaxes when someone acts safe again and again. Think of the quiet mind like a camera taking a slow picture at night. A quick camera only catches one flash, but a slow camera collects small lights over time. That is how many quiet people understand others. They collect small signs. One moment may not mean much, but many small moments become a pattern, and patterns become trust or distance. This is why a quiet person may be polite but still not close to you. They may smile, they may answer, they may seem calm, but inside, their mind may still be deciding, not deciding if you are perfect. No one is perfect. They are deciding if your energy feels safe enough. And here is something important. If you are a quiet person yourself, you may have been told many times that you are too quiet. People may have asked, "Why don't you talk?" They may have called you shy, cold, boring, serious, or hard to read. And maybe after hearing that again and again, you started thinking something was wrong with you. But quietness is not always a flaw. Sometimes quietness is an adaptation. Your brain learns from your past. If speaking up once got you criticized, your brain may learn to stay careful. If being honest once got you rejected, your brain may learn to watch before opening up. If you grew up around people who got angry quickly, your mind may have learned to read small emotional changes. A change in voice, a look in the eyes, a sudden silence, a door closing too hard. Your brain was not trying to make you weak. It was trying to keep you safe. This is why some quiet people are not empty. They are full of thoughts they do not share quickly. They are not silent because they have nothing to say. They are silent because they are choosing where their words are safe. And when they meet you, they may be doing the same thing. They may be asking, can I be myself here? Will this person understand me? Will they respect my silence? Will they force me to perform? Because to some people, silence is peace. To others, silence feels like pressure. And how you respond to their silence tells them a lot about you. If you panic and try to fill every pause, they may feel your anxiety. If you make jokes about how quiet they are, they may close off more. If you treat their silence like a problem, they may feel judged. But if you allow silence to exist, something changes. Their brain gets a different signal. It says, there is no danger here. You do not have to rush. You do not have to prove yourself. And for a quiet person, that can feel rare. So if you want to understand a quiet person, do not try to impress them first. Try to be steady. Quiet people often notice consistency more than charm. Charm can be exciting, but consistency feels safe. If you are kind in front of important people, but rude to someone who cannot help you, they may notice. If you speak about honesty but change your story depending on who is listening, they may notice. If you act warm one day and cold the next, they may notice. Their brain is building a map of your behavior, and every small action adds another line to that map. This is why small kindness matters. The way you speak to a waiter, the way you listen when someone is nervous, the way you respond when you are wrong, the way you handle not being the center of attention. These things may seem small to you, but to a quiet person, they can reveal the truth. Because people often reveal themselves when they are not trying to impress anyone. Another thing to understand is this: quietness does not always mean agreement. A quiet person may nod, they may smile, they may not argue, but that does not mean they agree with everything. Sometimes they are still thinking. Sometimes they do not want conflict. Sometimes they are waiting to see if their opinion is welcome. So if you want honesty from a quiet person, do not trap them with pressure. Do not say, "Why are you so quiet?" That question usually makes them feel like their natural way of being is wrong. Instead, ask something softer. "What did you think about that? Did that feel true to you? I'm curious how you see it." These questions give their mind a clear door to walk through. They do not feel like an attack. They feel like an invitation. And if they still do not answer much, do not take it personally too quickly. Some people need time to move from thought to words. Their silence may not be rejection. It may be processing. The brain has different speeds. Some people think while speaking. Other people think before speaking. The quiet person may be building the sentence inside before they let it out. And if you keep interrupting that process, they may stop trying. But if you give them space, their real thoughts may come out slowly. And when they do speak, listen carefully, because quiet people often do not waste words when they finally choose to share them. They may say one simple sentence, but that sentence may carry something they have been thinking about for a long time. So what is the quietest person in the room actually thinking about you? Maybe they are not thinking one big dramatic thing. Maybe they are not secretly judging every move. Maybe they are simply asking quiet questions. Are you real? Are you kind? Are you safe? Do you listen? Do you need attention all the time? Can you handle silence? Do you treat people well when there is nothing to gain? Can your words be trusted? And slowly, through your actions, you answer those questions. Not with speeches, not with confidence, not with trying to look interesting, but with patterns. Because the quiet mind often trusts patterns more than promises. It listens to what you repeat. It studies what you do when you are comfortable. It notices who you become when no one is watching closely. And maybe that is why quiet people can make us nervous. Their silence removes the easy performance. You cannot always win them over with noise. You cannot always distract them with charm. You cannot always rush them into liking you. You have to be something steadier. You have to be patient enough to let trust grow. And maybe that is the real lesson. The quietest person in the room is not always the one who needs to change. Sometimes their silence shows us how uncomfortable we are with being seen without performing. It shows us how quickly we search for approval, how badly we want a reaction, how much we fear being misunderstood. But when you stop fighting silence, you start learning from it. You begin to notice yourself. You begin to slow down. you begin to understand that connection is not always built through more words. Sometimes it is built through safer spaces, a softer tone, a pause that does not punish, a question that does not pressure, a kindness that stays the same. So the next time you meet the quietest person in the room, do not rush to decide what they think of you. Do not treat their silence like a wall. Maybe it is more like a doorway, but it only opens when it feels safe. And the way you enter matters. Speak honestly, move gently, let your actions become clear over time, because sometimes the person saying the least is not ignoring the room. They are understanding it. And sometimes what they remember most about you is not what you said. It is how your presence made their nervous system feel safe, tense, seen, ignored, peaceful, or guarded. In the end, quiet people remind us of something simple. Not every thought needs to be loud to be deep. Not every connection begins with words, and not every silence means distance. Sometimes silence is just a careful mind waiting to see where it can finally rest.